Welcome to Start, Move, Grow. Today we're diving deep into the really intriguing world of manifestation.
It's definitely a topic that sparks a lot of curiosity.
Absolutely. And you've brought together some fascinating sources for us covering, practical steps, the science behind it, and even some important critical viewpoints.
That's right, there's quite a range. We've got insights from people like Roxy Nafusi, who sees it as this blend of self-development, science, and wisdom
Mm-hmm.
aimed at hitting goals and building self-love, and then articles, like one from Big Think, connecting it to the growth mindset.
Okay, yeah, the growth mindset idea that our abilities aren't fixed, that seems key.
It does, but that same article flags a potential issue.
Right, the caution against it becoming like a phony prosperity gospel.
Exactly. If it ignores, sort of, systemic challenges
Mm-hmm.
and sets up unrealistic hopes, it's a valid concern.
And that ties into the British Psychological Society findings too, doesn't it? That strong belief might correlate with, well, riskier choices.
Yeah, their research suggested a possible link between strong belief in manifestation and things like risky financial decisions, even bankruptcy in some cases, and maybe believing in, let's say, overly optimistic success scenarios.
That's definitely food for thought. Adds complexity.
It does. But then you have perspectives like Dr. Kim Foster's, looking at the how.
The science aspect, like the reticular activating system.
Yes, the RAS.
Yeah.
And neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to actually change, plus the power of belief influencing our actions, like that Ann and Ben writer example she uses.
That example really stuck with me. How mindset affected their actions of outcomes.
And we also need to touch on surrendering, letting go of control, which comes up in a Mind Valley piece.
Okay. And then there's practical stuff too, like goal setting, affirmations.
Definitely. Advice from Roxy Nafusi again,
Yes.
and Regan Hillier on accelerated manifestation. Lots to unpack.
Great. So our mission today is really to explore that science, figure out what might be holding people back, those hidden blocks, and look at some concrete techniques you can actually use.
Sounds like a plan. Where should we start? The science bit.
Yeah, let's dive into the science first. Dr. Foster's points seem like a good place. The psychological angle, how beliefs shape actions.
Right. The Anna and Ben story illustrates it perfectly. Anna believes she can be a writer, takes steps, joins groups, submits work. Ben doubts himself, procrastinates. Their outcomes are likely to be very different, purely based on that initial belief and the actions that follow.
It sounds simple, but it's quite profound when you think about it. It's not magic, it's
Yeah,
psychology in action.
exactly. And then there's neuroplasticity. This is fascinating.
The idea that our brains aren't fixed.
Precisely. Dr. Foster explains that we can literally form new neural connections throughout life. So if you consistently focus on positive outcomes, practice certain beliefs, you're essentially strengthening those pathways in your brain.
Like carving out a path.
Yeah, a well-worn trail, exactly. It links to what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, actually rewiring thought patterns.
Okay, so belief influences action, and consistent focus can rewire the brain. What about the RAS, the reticular activating system? How does that fit in?
So the RAS acts like a filter for your brain. It decides what gets your attention based on what it thinks is important.
Okay.
When you set clear intentions, like through manifestation practices, you're sort of programming your RAS. You're telling it, hey, this goal is important.
And then it starts noticing things related to that goal more.
That's the idea.
Huh?
It becomes more sensitive to opportunities, information, resources that align with what you focused on. Like
Yeah.
deciding you want a red car and suddenly you see red cars everywhere.
Ah, right. I get that. It's filtering your perception.
Exactly. But we have to balance this with that critical perspective we mentioned earlier.
From the BPS study.
Yeah. While positive self-talk is part of manifestation, I can speak success into existence, the study suggests it might sometimes link to overconfidence.
Like believing you can easily earn a huge income just from positive thinking, maybe overlooking the actual work or risks involved.
Potentially, yes. Believing in unlikely scenarios without maybe a grounded plan. It's about finding that balance between positive belief and realistic assessment.
That makes sense. It's not just thinking, it's thinking combined with awareness and action. So, okay, understanding the science is one thing, but what about when it feels like it's just not working? What are these hidden blocks?
Ah, yes. This is crucial. A Mind Valley blog post lays out 6 common ones, things that can really sabotage your efforts, often unconsciously.
Like what?
Okay, so having an unclear vision, Not really knowing what you want, limiting beliefs, those deep-seated ideas about what you think is possible for you or what you deserve.
That sense of deservingness,
Yeah,
that feels big.
it really is. Then there's emotional incongruence, like you consciously want something, but subconsciously you feel fear or doubt about it. Issues around worthiness, which you just mentioned.
Right.
Fear of success, believe it or not, or fear of failure. And finally, a lack of alignment. Maybe what you think you want doesn't actually align with your deeper values.
Wow, that's quite a list, that worthiness piece. Roxy Nafusi talks about that too, right? Manifesting what we subconsciously think we deserve.
She does. She really emphasizes identifying and overcoming those limiting beliefs, often rooted in past experiences. She suggests things like therapy or inner child work.
And daily tools.
Yeah, like positive affirmations, being really strict with your self-talk to consciously rewire those beliefs. It's like that internal thermostat idea. If it's set low because you don't feel worthy, it's hard to manifest abundance.
So that subconscious belief is key. The Big Think article mentioned subconscious worthiness too, didn't it? As central to the law of attraction idea.
It did. It highlights that it goes deeper than just surface-level positive thoughts.
Mm.
You have to address those underlying feelings about yourself.
And what about the gripping thing, obsessing over the how and when?
Yes, that's another major block, according to that Mind Valley post on surrender. Constantly worrying, trying to control every detail.
It sends a message of doubt.
Kind of. It suggests you don't actually trust the process or the universe or whatever framework you use. It creates resistance. They use the analogy of a farmer planting seeds.
And then trusting they'll grow, not digging them up every day to check.
Exactly. You plant, you nurture, but you trust the process. That surrender, that letting go of the desperate need to control, seems vital.
Okay, so we've got the potential science, we've got these common blocks like unclear vision, limiting beliefs, worthiness issues, fear, and lack of surrender. Let's talk techniques. What can people actually do?
Right, the practical stuff. Well, number one seems to be setting clear intentions and vision.
Being specific.
Very specific. Roxy Nafusi suggests things like a 3-month vision board, breaking goals down into categories, career, personal life, etc. Regan Hillier also stresses envisioning desires clearly. Get a sharp picture.
Makes sense. You need a target. What's next?
Gratitude practices. This comes up a lot.
Just being thankful.
Pretty much. But making it a practice. Roxy's positivity journal idea, just 5 minutes at night, writing down things you're grateful for. Regan Hillier even uses future gratitude techniques.
Why is gratitude so powerful here?
It shifts your mindset, doesn't it? From lack to abundance. When you focus on what you have, it opens you up energetically, makes you more receptive, it changes your emotional state.
Okay, got it. Vision, gratitude, what else?
Affirmations and positive self-talk. We touched on this.
Repeating positive statements.
Yeah, but personalized ones. Roxy uses mantras, especially upon waking, when the subconscious is supposedly more open. And as Dr. Foster noted, this can physically strengthen positive neural pathways over time.
So consistency is key there.
Definitely. And genuine feeling behind it, not just rote repetition.
All right, technique number 4.
Visualization, a classic in this field.
Imagining it's already happened.
Exactly. Vividly picturing your desired outcome, feeling the emotions as if it's real now. The Secret emphasized this heavily. Regan Hillier does too. There are even tools, apparently, like Elora that Mind Valley mentioned, to help visualize a future self.
Interesting, like creating a mental movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It makes it feel more real, more attainable, boosts motivation.
Okay, number 5.
Removing fear and doubt. This connects back to the blocks.
So actively working on those limiting beliefs.
Yes, it's a core part of Roxy Nafusi's framework.
Yeah.
Identifying them, maybe using therapy, healing modalities, journaling, whatever works for you, to release them. It's the inner work.
It's not just about thinking positive thoughts over the fear, but actually addressing the fear itself.
Precisely. You have to clear the weeds before the flowers can grow, so to speak.
Makes sense. Number 6.
Taking inspired action. This is important. Manifestation isn't just sitting on the couch visualizing.
Right. You still have to do things.
Yes, but the emphasis is on inspired action. Steps that feel intuitively right, that align with your intentions. Gabriel Bernstein talks about releasing control, but also acting when guided. It's not passive waiting.
It's a partnership, maybe, between mindset and action.
That's a good way to put it, a synergy. You set the intention, get into alignment, and then act on the opportunities or nudges that appear.
Okay, and the final one. Number 7.
We circle back to surrender and letting go.
Releasing that need to control the how and when.
Exactly. Trusting the process. Knowing or believing that things are working out for your highest good, even if you can't see the whole path yet. Jeffrey Allen's energy reset, breathing in golden light, exhaling fear, is one practical way to cultivate this feeling.
So it's like do the work, clear vision, gratitude, affirmations, visualization, face the fear, take action, and then trust.
That seems to be the essence of it, based on these sources. It's an active process, but one that also requires trust and allowing.
So wrapping this up, it really seems like manifestation, when you look at it this way, is this multifaceted thing. It pulls from psychology, our brain's own ability to change the power of belief, but also requires practical steps.
Yeah, it's not just one thing. Setting intentions, cultivating those positive beliefs, taking action, they all seem really important.
But equally important is being aware of the pitfalls, right? The unrealistic expectations, those hidden limiting beliefs we carry, and that urge to like force things instead of trusting.
Absolutely. That self-awareness seems critical. And the idea of surrender, letting go while still doing your part, that keeps coming up as key.
It's definitely a lot to think about. We hope this deep dive has given you some useful insights into, the potential science, the obstacles you might face, and some actual steps you could try out if this resonates with you.
There are clearly many layers here. It's worth exploring these ideas further and seeing what feels right for you personally.
Which maybe leads to a final thought for you to consider. After hearing all this, all these different perspectives and techniques, what's maybe one small, tangible step you feel inspired to explore today in your own journey with manifestation?
We're a new channel.
Yeah, thank you so much to our new subscribers.
Your support, it really means a lot. Thank you.